Back on the Sports Zone, I am Mike Aglialoro. We've had a busy week here on the Sports Zone, from Jay Rofsky talking about Brooke Lopez, Carmelo Anthony, and the Yankees basically spending as much money as they can on any Latin American ball player with a pulse. You got Tom Lembo's editorial about the evolution of boxing over the past 20 years. Size does matter. We added a new member this week, Gennady Brzezinski, who's going to be doing some World Cup for us. We had the return of Dave Tice previewing UFC 174. And in the course of all this, we've lost track of the fantasy football preview we were doing last weekend. We did the top 15 running backs and wide receivers, and we're going to continue with the numbers 16 through 20 ranked running backs in all of fantasy football. And you can see the top 15 running backs on either side of me on your screen right now. So with that, we're going to get right to it. Number 16 is going to be Ryan Matthews from the San Diego Chargers, coming off the second 1,000-yard rushing season of his career. And as much as he did have to split some carries last year with Ronnie Brown, and as much as they brought in Donald Brown on a 3-year contract this offseason, it definitely looks like this is helping him, splitting carries with other backs, because last year was actually the first season since he was in college where he played an entire season. So if that's the effect it's going to have on him, he did have a career-high 285 carries on the season, which does worry you given his fragility over the years. But if this is the effect that can have on him, then this is going to wind up being a good thing for him, and he does look to be someone that you can have on your team and maybe not have to worry about another injury. Number 17 is going to be Andre Ellington of the Arizona Cardinals, who saw Rashard Mendenhall retire this offseason very unexpectedly. They did replace him with Jonathan Dwyer, but Jonathan Dwyer is not a starting NFL running back. He's barely a backup running back. You saw that when he was in Pittsburgh. Rashard Mendenhall took a lot of carries away from Andre Ellington last year and prevented the breakout. That and the fact that he is a 5'9" running back that Bruce Arians has been worried about putting a full workload on because they don't want him to break down. He had one monster game last season, and other than that, you really didn't hear too much of him. But this guy has significant home run potential. And if he's given 10 to 15 carries a game, 5.5 yards a carry that guy averaged last year. If that is given anywhere from between 270 to 285 carries on a season, you're looking at over 1,000 yards. And if he's involved in the passing game, you're looking at possibly 1,500 all-purpose yards, I predict. So Andre Ellington might be 17 on this list, but he's a wild card, as is C.J. Spiller, a wild card in the top 20. Number 18 on this list, he was ranked in the top 10 as recently as last year. And you won't find him in the top 15 on either Yahoo or ESPN's fantasy rankings. Now, I don't put him up there because I've never really been a big believer in him. He is small as well. He's 5'9", not even 200 pounds. He's never really missed that many games in his 4-year career, but he just seems to me to be a guy who always just seems banged up, is on the injury report, and a guy that you always have to wonder if he's going to carry a full workload because he's always had Fred Jackson behind him. He still does. And the Bills brought in Bryce Brown on a draft day trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. So you have to wonder if he's really going to get enough carries to help out your team. Now, he's another home run hitter just like Andre Ellington. So again, limited carries could wind up helping him in a Ryan Matthews-like sense as well because it keeps him fresh for the season. But game to game, I just really wonder if he doesn't get that home run shot, he's not worth a high pick in my eyes. So we'll keep going. Number 19, the first rookie on this list is going to be Bishop Sankey of the Tennessee Titans. He was the first rookie taken in the NFL draft this past year as well. And while he might not be a superior back to a lot of backs on this list, he does have what a lot of other guys on this list don't have, and that is guaranteed carries, because whenever your competition is Sean Green and Jackie Battle, you better be getting at least 20 carries a game, because there's really nothing stopping you. And opportunity is 9/10 of the law in fantasy football. Number 20, the first real handcuff type back on this list is going to be Joique Bell, because every year there's at least one guy who's technically a handcuff who's not really a handcuff. He can wind up getting you quality fantasy points, even though he is technically considered the second choice for the real-life team. Joique Bell is going to be playing behind Reggie Bush unless Reggie Bush winds up getting hurt. But as we saw down the stretch last year, that doesn't mean that Joique Bell is not going to contribute for the Detroit Lions. They're going to find ways to get him on the field in 2 running back sets, and he has at least 52 receptions in his first 2 seasons in the NFL. So these are reasons why, if you have your first 2 running back set and you're looking for a good flex play, you want to consider Joique Bell. So to surmise, number 16 is going to be Ryan Matthews of the San Diego Chargers. Number 17, Andre Ellington of Arizona Cardinals. Number 18 is C.J. Spiller of the Buffalo Bills. Number 19 is Bishop Sankey, the rookie of the Tennessee Titans. And number 20, Joique Bell of the Detroit Lions. Like I said earlier, make sure you check out everything we got going on this week. From Dave Tice, Tom Lembo, Jay Rofsky, put in triple duty this week. Good hearing from him again. The newcomer, Gennady Brzezinski, Jake Dixon, Aaron Hadasme, and George Murphy. Make sure you check out all the polls we got. We got a lot of stuff up. Who do you think Floyd Mayweather should fight next? Whether it's Miguel Cotto, Amir Khan, or maybe even Marcos Maidana again. Where do you think Carmelo Anthony should go? Do you think he should go to the Heat? Do you think he should go to the Chicago Bulls, the Houston Rockets, the LA Lakers, or just stay with the Knicks? And everything else we got. Like us on Facebook. Follow us at Twitter at WeAreSportsZone. Send us any questions and comments you may have as always. Thanks everyone for watching. For This is SportsZone, I am Mike Aglialoro. We'll see you next time, folks.